Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I'm going to be filming another book haul because I've acquired a lot of books in the last couple of months, or even a month, I don't really know, but there's a lot of them, so it's time. So the first book I got since my last book haul was Tortured for Christ by Richard Wurmbrand, which he was part of the underground church in communist Romania back in the 60s. And this is basically his testimony of him being in prison and all that he did for the underground church during that time period. And it was really interesting. I did give this a lower rating, but that's mainly because the writing isn't great. But that is explained in the afterword in the fact that he wrote this like 3 days after his release from prison. And they just made it into a book so people would know more about the communist society going on during that time. Also, I got this for free via Voice of the Martyrs. I'm a part of their online, newsletter, and they were offering this, so I decided to get it. Next up, I ordered what I thought was going to be the UK paperback of Tower Lord. And as you can see, this is not a paperback. For a size comparison to this is the first book. Can we just... This is sad, and I don't really know what to do about it, but considering I haven't started the series yet, I'm not going to worry too much about it unless I end up loving all of them, in which case I'm either going to get them all in this size or I'm going to get them all in a hardcover, which hardcover seems more likely because these are really nice hardcovers. I went to the thrift store, picked up 2 books. I got Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, which I've already read and is fantastic. Would highly recommend if you want to learn more about the Muslim culture. And I also picked up a copy of Othello, obviously by Shakespeare, but I don't know if I've ever had this edition of it. It is the modern English version side by side with the full original text, which is kind of like the No Fear Shakespeare, which I have most of his books in, so I really liked this edition and picked it up for like 40 cents. Next, I picked up Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel. This is the second book in the Themis Files, and this was my favorite book in the Themis Files. I love this trilogy. It's so much fun, and highly, highly, highly recommend this series if you have never read it, or picked it up, or been interested. Please just check it out. And then I made a thrift books order and picked up 3 Souls by Janny Cheng because I know this is Kate's favorite book, and I've always meant to read it for a really long time now, and it sounds really cool, so hopefully I will get to this one soon. And I also picked up The Girl with All the Gifts, also on Kate's recommendation, and she was so right. I loved this. It's so good. This is the zombie novel I've been looking for. Spoiler to my wrap-up, but it was fantastic. Then I made a disappointing, or what turned out to be a disappointing purchase, and that was The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I spent a lot of money on this because it's a newer book and it's a hardcover and it's supposedly adult. It is new in a hardcover. I wouldn't call it adult. It feels more like YA, even though I think it is classified as adult. And I didn't like it. I gave it 3 stars, and I'm really mad that I spent so much money on it, and that's the only reason I still own it, and it's not in my unhaul pile because I spent so much money on it, and I don't know if I'm going to continue with the series yet or not, so we'll see. Then, because I keep hearing my Christian friends here on BookTube rave about this author, and especially this book in particular, I picked up Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, which is way bigger than I was expecting it to be, but I'm really excited to read this. And I think it's a good start for Francine Rivers, which, Oshina, if I'm wrong about that, let me know, but this is the only one of her books that I own, so this is probably where I'm going to end up starting. Then Only Human came out, so I picked that up on the day it was released, and read it really fast with Kate, so the series is great, please read it. Then I ordered what I thought was going to be these versions, editions of Haruki Murakami's books, but what I got instead on the Amazon used marketplace, who lied about their picture, was this version of Kafka on the Shore, which it is in really good condition, so I can't complain that much, but if I really like it, I'm probably gonna buy it in the really pretty glossy editions. but this is the next book of Murakami's that I want to read. And then the rest of these books, and the reason for this book haul being filmed right now, honestly, is because I picked up a lot of them at the thrift store last week. And what happens when you don't buy books for a long period of time is you go to the thrift store, all books are 40 cents, and they had some more of the hyped YA books, I guess you could call them, that I never see there, so I was like, if I'm ever going to pick these up, it's going to be for 40 cents, so here we go. First being The City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. This was really hyped on BookTube, I want to say last year. I could be wrong about that, but I've definitely seen this cover. I definitely saw people raving about it, so I was like, why not for 40 cents? I don't even really remember what it's about, but people seem to like it. Then I picked up 5678 by Tim Federle, which he is a YA author that writes theater-centered, like, fiction, and I've read a couple of his other books, and I really like his writing, and I think he's really funny, so I picked this one up. Then I picked up The Cellar by Natasha Preston, which I believe was a Wattpad story before it was published. I know it's a thriller. I saw someone, the day I went to the thrift store, I had seen someone talk about this on BookTube, and, like, in depth about it, so I was like, oh, I heard somebody talking about that earlier, I might as well buy it since it's 40 cents, so that's why this happened. Then I finally picked up The Martian because they finally had it at a thrift store, and this is one I'm not sure if I'm gonna love, as a lot of people have, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, so 40 cents seemed like the right price for what I was willing to spend on this book. I picked up a copy of Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller, which is a very popular, very well-renowned play, which I think I read in high school, but I don't remember anything about it, so I do want to get more into plays, so I picked this one up. Then I found this random arc of A Crown of Wishes by Roshani Chokshi, which, like, I know arcs aren't supposed to be sold in stores, but the thrift store does not listen to that rule, and this is a nice floppy paperback, so I was happy about it. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to buy this because I didn't love her first book, but I did like the writing, and since it was 40 cents, I was like, yep, that's perfect. We'll pick that one up. And then, last but not least, I picked up this Batman Chronicles Volume 1, which is a bind-up of a bunch of old Batman comics. And if you didn't know this about me, I really like Batman, but I have no clue where to start in the comics, because there's so many, a lot of them are so old. I don't know which ones are good series. If you know anything about Batman comics, let me know, because I do really like Batman, but I have no clue where to start with this. Oh. These are all of the books that I've bought in the last month or so. I don't even know how long it's been. But there's a lot of them, and they're really heavy, and a lot of them are really big, and there go some of them. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.